Good evening, everybody. This is the Camera Artist Guild Thursday Image Critique, and I am your host, George DeLoache. I'm a portrait artist and photographer's coach here in Los Angeles, California, and I am glad you're here, and I'm glad I'm here. We got some phenomenal images to look at. I really appreciate you guys sending them in. So anyway, let me get into the broadcast, or into the critiquing. Okay. All right, this is Tim Stanford. Great image, Tim. It reminds me of the 70s. When I come through the 70s, I'm a product of that. I had an afro that was huge, you know. I looked like the fly on car wash. And you probably, unless you're an older guy my age, you won't even know what car wash was. But it was a movie, and there was one guy in there with a big afro. But the model looks great. There are several people that mentioned it. I'll mention it again. Sometimes these lights will draw your attention away from the model because they are brighter than the model, specifically the one over here. You may be able to clone that out. I haven't tried it. I wonder if I go to the stamp layer and I just shrink that stamp layer up a little bit. Alt, stamp, and select, and let's go. Well, no. Control Z, back it out. Sample again. There. Alt, sample. Good. Okay. Now she's moved from that side a little bit, and I wonder, the patch tool might work on this. Whoops. That was clumsy. Let's go up here. Let's try the patch tool. It may not work. Patch tool is kind of funny. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Okay. Now you've got a little bit of line here and there, so you just want to patch tool around a large enough section that it fades into the background. And there. Now you probably could tone down the other bright spots here. Maybe this one. Actually, I made that patch tool too large. Yep, I made it too large. We'll try it right there. But now, see, all of a sudden, the model itself is really beginning to jump out. Let's see. I'm going to take this patch tool and try. This is great. There we go. Let's try it again. Now. Yeah. Okay. That toned it down a little bit. It didn't eliminate it. We could work at it, but I don't want to eliminate all of them. I want to leave some of it there so that it shines through. But now you're really drawing attention to your model, and she just jumps off the page because the lights are out of the way. So give that a try. You don't have to do it. You can keep it the way it is. You are the creator of the image. You're the one that decides what you're doing. But just as a possibility, something to tone it up, and something to think about when you're making when you're making the composition. Remember that bright light draws your attention. When you're looking at the image. So you've got mid-tone lady, you've got dark hair, you've got a darker background scene, and so you want to kind of keep it all on the low-key side. And bam, she just jumps off the page at you. Okay, Tim. Thank you, brother. Let's go here. Okay, Keith Davis, Philly. I love this, Keith. Really nicely done. It's a nicely done high key image. And believe you me, high key is hard to do. I teach a $1,500 course in high key at my studio. And people, I get people signed up for it all the time because high key is so difficult to pull off. But you come off with it pretty good. And one thing that you did do that so many people make the mistake of trying to do, however you went about it, you left the shadows. You have to have shadows. If you don't have shadows, there's nothing to anchor it to the ground. And it just turns into something floating, which screams fake. This is a high key photograph. And I love the way you edit it. It's very difficult to put everybody in there together, but you pulled it off pretty good. There may be some things that I would change posing wise, but you're not posing models, you're posing a family. And the main thing is that everybody is happy and interacting with one another. You carried it off, man. Congratulations. See, I tell you, you guys are good. And I threw in another Keith Davis, even though I got one from you. I threw in this other one. You're really starting to knock out some of these maternities with interesting posing. You had a couple other couples earlier, but interesting. And I wanted to put it up. Now, the one thing I would do is add separation between the lady and the background. She kind of gets lost up in here. So you really need to add a light into the back area, but not real bright, not almost noticeable, just a little bit lighter than her hair so that you can see where her hair begins and where it stops. And that would bring and add a third dimension to it. Right now you're looking at 2 dimensions, just the 2 of them on one plane. But you would add that little light fade in the background. And if you couldn't hide it behind either one of them, what I do all the time is that I use a boom system in my studio. Now, I've made mine out of 1 3/4, I think it is, water pipe. And they're 10-foot lengths or something like that. And I just screw together a cage. I actually have 2 auto poles, and then I have the water pipe, and I use scaffolding clamps like you use for building a scaffold. You use scaffolding or chain link fencing poles that go on the top of chain link fencing. Any one of those to make kind of a cage where you have a crossbar going across your studio. Then with super clamps, you can clamp a monolight up there with a 7-inch reflector and a grid or barn doors, and it will sit above everybody and point down at the background and give you an interesting little pattern there, especially if you have a really dense grid. So that's just something to think about. And that takes care of that. Let's get the broadcast back around this way. Okay, everybody, let me see. Are there any questions? And we don't see anything. Now, the one bad thing about I'm broadcasting with Restream. I was using vMix and the Facebook Live, and I can read who the comments come from. On Restream, they show the comments, but they don't show who they're from. So I have no idea. So I'm just, hey, everybody. Okay, I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, write those questions in. And I will try to answer them or bring them up in a broadcast. You got an idea for something that you want to learn more about, let me know. I'll bring a tutorial on that. For you guys who are new, if you are watching this broadcast outside of the Camera Artist Guild group page, If you're watching on the business page, or if you're watching on YouTube or one of the other places that it goes out. First, if you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button and share, and even subscribe to my channel so that we can help grow this medium. But come over to Camera Artist Guild Group on Facebook and join the group. Ask to join the group. I'll bring you into the group. Got a couple questions to answer so that I know which direction to take it. Join the group, and then all you have to do is do a post, and then in that post, attach an image to that post. It'll come up in the full feed in the discussion of the group, and other members can share with you and give you their ideas. And then I will pick 5. I actually went more than 5 this time, but that's because I loved every image as well. But I'll go with at least 5 images and do a critique on those. And I'll try to bring a few tips on business and a few tips on photography as well. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, welcome everybody from around the world. We are really broadcasting worldwide now. We got people from all over the world. So Africa, welcome. India, welcome. Asia, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. We're getting a strong contingency from Nigeria and Ghana. So welcome. Some people from Namibia and some from Kenya and Tanzania. So I love that. South Africa, pick up the pace. I haven't gotten anybody from South Africa in a while. And United States, you guys are falling behind Africa and India. So we need more members from the United States. I don't want to pass those guys up. I don't want to pass you guys up. So do me a favor, let your friends know, other photographers that you have. Go into photography groups and let them know about the broadcast so that they can come on over and we can build, because strength comes with a multitude of people. So anyway, that pretty much covers it for this week. You guys have been wonderful. I really love being able to bring this broadcast to you, and I hope that I have been helpful. That's my whole purpose in life. Let's face it, friends, I am in the 4th quarter of the game. I played 3 quarters of this game. I'm not looking to check out anytime soon, but I've got more time behind me than I do in front of me, and I can't take this knowledge to the grave. Now, when I was a beginning photographer, we didn't tell secrets. We kept those secrets like a magician holds on to his tricks, how he does it. And the only way you learn photography, there was maybe 1 or 2 photography schools around, but not very many at all. I think Rochester, where Kodak was one. I think Brooks had a course. But for the most part, you learned as an apprentice. You went to work for somebody, and they taught you, and then you held that information until you died, unless you found an apprentice that you could pass it on to. Well, I've accumulated over 50 years of photography knowledge, both in business and in photography, and I got no apprentice to pass it on to. So I'm passing it on to my students and on to you guys, and I hope it's helpful. Okay, good enough. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Let me get up here and okay, I do this every week. I lose the cursor. I can't find it. I got 3 monitors over here. Can't find the cursor. Okay, there we go. We're out of here. I think there's the end.